Welcome back to English Total, the podcast that brings you stories in simple English. Today, we are exploring one of the most incredible stories of human endurance ever recorded. It is a story about the power of the mind, the danger of the unknown, and the thin line between life and death. This is the story of Yossi Ghinsberg. In 1981, Yossi Ghinsberg was a 22-year-old Israeli man who had just finished his mandatory military service. Like many young people of his generation, he felt a deep desire to explore the world before settling into a traditional career. However, Yossi wasn't interested in the typical tourist trails of Europe or North America. He wanted a pure adventure, something raw and untouched by modern civilization. He traveled to South America, eventually finding himself in La Paz, Bolivia. It was there, in a chance encounter at a hostel, that he met a mysterious man named Karl Ruprechter. Karl was an Austrian who claimed to be a geologist. He was charismatic and told Yossi fascinating stories about the deep Amazon. He spoke of an ancient hidden gold mine and a lost indigenous tribe known as the Toromonas, who had never been contacted by the outside world. For a young man seeking purpose and adventure, this was an irresistible offer. Yossi quickly convinced two other travelers he had met, Marcus Stamm, a kind-hearted Swiss teacher, and Kevin Gale, a talented American photographer, to join the expedition. They were young, enthusiastic, and completely unaware that they were about to walk into a trap set by nature. The four men departed from the village of Apollo and hiked deep into the Tuichi River region. However, the dream quickly dissolved as the reality of the rainforest set in. The Amazon is a place of extreme humidity, dense vegetation, and constant physical struggle. The group's dynamic began to fracture under the pressure. Marcus, in particular, according to some reports, suffered terribly. His feet became severely infected with fungus and sores, making every step an agony. As they moved slower, Karl's personality shifted. He became impatient and secretive. The group began to suspect that Karl wasn't a geologist at all, and his knowledge of the lost tribe seemed more like fiction than fact. When they reached a small settlement, they realized they could no longer continue as a group of four. They decided to split. Karl and Marcus decided to hike back through the jungle towards civilization. Yossi and Kevin, eager to see more of the river, decided to build a wood raft. They planned to sail down the Tuichi River until they reached a larger town. It was a fatal decision for the group's unity. Karl and Marcus were never seen again. They disappeared into the green canopy and remain a mystery to this day. Meanwhile, Yossi and Kevin faced a different kind of disaster. As they sailed down the river, they realized too late that they were approaching a malpaso, a dangerous stretch of whitewater rapids and waterfalls. The current became too strong to fight. Their raft hit a massive rock and shattered. Kevin managed to swim to the shore, but Yossi was swept away, trapped in the center of the raging river, eventually plummeting over a waterfall into the heart of the jungle. Yossi survived the fall, but he was now completely alone. He had no food, no compass, and no fire-starting equipment. For the next 21 days, Yossi Ghinsberg lived through what he later described as a green hell. The Amazon is not just a forest, it is a living, breathing entity that tries to reclaim everything within it. For the first few days, Yossi walked, hoping to find Kevin or a path, but the rainforest is a labyrinth. He faced torrential rain that lasted for days, which lowered his body temperature and caused his skin to begin to rot from the constant moisture. The psychological battle was even worse than the physical one. Yossi began to experience vivid hallucinations. He imagined a girl was with him, and he would talk to her for hours just to maintain his sanity. He even felt he had a guardian angel watching over him. His physical survival was a series of miracles. One night, he was stalked by a jaguar. In a moment of pure instinct, he grabbed a can of insect repellent and a lighter, creating a makeshift flamethrower to scare the predator away. His feet became so damaged that the skin began to peel off in large chunks, leaving the raw flesh exposed to parasites and dirt. He survived by eating raw bird eggs, termites, and wild fruits, though he often went days without a single calorie. While Yossi was struggling to stay alive, Kevin had been rescued by local villagers. However, Kevin was haunted by the fact that Yossi was still out there. While the local authorities told Kevin that his friend was certainly dead, stating that no one survives more than a week alone in that part of the Amazon, Kevin refused to give up. Kevin travelled to the town of Rurrenabaque and found a local man named Tico Tudela, who knew the rivers better than anyone. Together, they rented a boat and began an exhausting search. They patrolled the riverbanks for days, shouting Yossi's name into the silence of the trees. By day 21, Yossi was at the end of his strength. He was starving. His body was covered in thousands of botfly larvae living under his skin, and he had resigned himself to death. He lay down on a muddy bank, unable to move. Just as he was fading out of consciousness, he heard a strange sound, the hum of a motor. He thought it was another hallucination, but it wasn't. It was Kevin and Tico. Incredibly, they spotted a flash of movement on the bank. When they pulled the boat over, they found a man who was unrecognizable, a skeletal figure covered in mud and sores. Against all odds, Yossi Ghinsberg had been found. Yossi's recovery took many months. He had lost a significant amount of body weight and required extensive medical treatment for his infections. However, the experience changed him forever. Instead of hating the jungle, he grew to respect it. Years later, he returned to the Tweety River, not as an explorer, but as a conservationist. He helped the local Turkana people build an eco-lodge called Shalalan, ensuring that the rainforest he once feared would be protected for future generations. His story is a testament to the fact that when the body breaks, the human spirit can still find a way to survive. We hope you have enjoyed this story. It's now quiz time. Click on the link posted in the comments. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.